I'm now with Robert Stanbury in the Pride of the Paddock area. Good morning, Robert, and welcome to Race Retro 2025.
Thanks, Graham. Pleasure to be here.
Right, can we start off with a little bit about history of this car, where it was first raced with Chris Bristow?
Yeah, absolutely. So the car is a 1955 Leonard MG Special, commissioned by Lionel Leonard in 1955. It was not driven by Leonard, but purchased and raced by Chris Bristow,
right, okay.
As his first race car in 1956. And Bristow went on to have a meteoric rise into Formula One over, unfortunately, a very short career. His life was cut short 4 years later in 1960 at the Spa Grand Prix, where he had an accident and died, unfortunately. But he was tipped to be, a world champion, and was
had a great future ahead of him, didn't he?
He really did. A month or two before, he'd stuck it on the front row of Monaco Grand Prix. So he was destined for great things, tipped to be as good as, the greats. So it's a great shame, but many, unfortunately, like so many of his generation and in motorsport at that time. But it's obviously a fantastic, beautiful looking car that was hidden from view for 40 plus years. So after it was raced by Bristow, he sold it at the end of the 56 season, and it went into private ownership for a few years, and then basically was sort of off the road from the early 60s. It was then sort of discovered by its current owner, Ken Bolan, who's an antiques and art dealer down in near Shaftesbury, actually in the grounds of a prison. So sort of a prison break to get this barn find out of it, which is
there's always a story somewhere, isn't there?
This car's full of stories. So he managed to rescue it from. It was actually the owner of the car was sort of hoarding it with plenty of other bits and pieces. He was tipped off about it. Unfortunately, the husband died. The wife he approached to buy it, and she said she didn't want any money for it, but she'd like an extension on her house. Okay. So Ken said, "Fine, I'll build you an extension on your house," and it cost him, I think, he bit off a bit more than he could chew. Certainly, he built it, but it was a bit more than he anticipated. So it stands him in she got the better deal probably. Having said that, look at it, it's a wonderful thing, and it's wonderful patina on it. He bought it, I think, for the aesthetic, and the shape is just beautiful. But also, at some point had a intention to put it back on the track, and that's what we're going to do. So I met with a friend, a good friend of mine now, David Brooke, who is a photographer by trade and took these amazing photos of the car. He works with Ken and has done for 15 years. He brought me in. I've worked in the industry myself a fair bit, and I brought in a friend of mine, Alberto Solera, who's a mechanical automotive engineer, and he's going to head up the mechanical engineering side of it. So that's our little team, and it's
all coming together then.
It is. It's very, very exciting. We've been excited about it. I've known about it for about a year or so. This is the first time it's been seen in public, and will be the only time it's seen in public in this condition. It'll go from here, and the process to restore it will begin quite soon. And it's been invited to Goodwood Revival to, once it's, wheels are turning and it's looking back to its best. So that's all very exciting. We've had a wonderful reception here. People have come literally to see this car in particular to this show. So, and everyone's just been, so enthusiastic about it. And so it's, really given us a lot of confidence.
And you've got other plans as well, haven't you?
That's right. Well, given the beautiful shape of the car, and the cost of the restoration, we hatched a plan to make it viable by doing a continuation car, which initially we'll do one which is sort of as close as possible to the original. We've got an order already for a chap who's got an XPAG engine with a supercharger, which he's got sitting in his garage, and he needs a car to go with it. So that's our first job. That's our first order. And subsequent cars, I mean, we'll do the bodywork probably in glass fibre or carbon fibre. The car weighs less than 500 kilos, so we'll have a sort of lightweight engine. And then, what we'd like to do is do something sort of a bit more racy and a bit more power down the line, but, to be revealed later.
Just watch this space then.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're doing some fantastically exciting projects. What's not to like?
So the next time we'll see this, it should be at Goodwood then.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, that's the plan. Yeah. It might get shown, once, in its all this new splendour. But we want to be sympathetic to, to the car. We don't want to over restore it. I mean, it obviously needs a fair bit of work, but we don't want it to go. It needs to look like it did in periods.
That's right. Yeah.
And they weren't. The last, yeah, exactly. It won't be so polished that it's out of place. So, yeah.
Good luck with it all. I hope it goes ahead. I mean, I was quite impressed when I saw it. So, like everybody else, I didn't even know it was still existed.
Yeah, that's the most exciting thing. These things still get pulled out of barns, and they keep coming. But this one's a real gem, real beauty. So, this one was particularly special, and it's, that's.
Well, in a way, Chris lives on in this car.
Well, that's it, and we're paying tribute to Chris and sort of, bringing his story out into recognition. As I said at the beginning, it was commissioned by Lionel Leonard, and Chris Bristow raced with a checkered band around his helmet. Right. So our Bristow Sports Cars is the company we've set up, and the logo is a lion's face, as a nod to Lionel Leonard, and the checkered band, which sort of makes the mane of the lion, is a nod to Chris Bristow, and we'll call it the Bristow Barchetta.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember you saying that.
Bristow himself described it as a Ferrari-type MG, and in his bill of sale advert for selling the car after he'd done the 56th season, he described it as the fastest fastest MG, without doubt. Yeah. So, and he knew because he won quite a few races. In fact, he won on his first race.
On his first race out.
Yeah. So that set the tone for the rest of his career. Yeah. It was really exciting. Yeah.
Well, that's brilliant. Thanks for all the information, and I look forward to it being finished and back on the track.
You can follow us. We've got a website, www.bristowsportscars.com, and you can follow us at Bristow Sports Cars on Instagram and other social media. So we're hoping to, we'll put together a series of videos, documenting the restoration, and the other projects as well, the new car. So keep tuned.
Well, thanks very much indeed for the interview.
Yeah,
Thank you.
welcome.
Thanks. Thank you.